Hello my friends, it's Sean Sony here and welcome to this video. And what I'm going to be sharing with you is, and what we're going to be creating together right now is your plan of attack, as I like to call, okay? We're going to be creating an action plan for you over the next 30 days for now, and then as you go through the next 30 days and you put this action plan into place, when you see the results and when you're going to see the results that you're going to get, and you're going to make tweaks to it, and you're going to make a plan of action for the next 30 days, and you're just going to keep doing it. Okay, so this is really what separates you from making money to not making money. This is going to be some very powerful stuff, and I'm going to give you the action plan right now. It's going to be pretty powerful. So what I want you to do is I want you to get a notepad or whatever you have out and write this stuff down and actually do it with me. Okay, because again, if you just watch this video, right, you're probably gonna go like, wow, that was really good stuff, but it's not gonna change your life, okay, unless you do something about this stuff. So I urge you right now, get a pen, get a notebook or whatever you want to do, make a new notebook where you're doing this stuff, and write this stuff down and actually implement it, put it to action, okay. And if you're serious and committed, I'm telling you right now, this is gonna be life-changing stuff right there, okay. So let's just straight get into it. Basically what you want to do is what we're going to be doing is we're going to literally create a monthly goal, okay, and then we're going to break it down into simple little components, and we're going to celebrate achievements, okay, as little as they might be. Okay, hold on. Celebrate your achievements. Okay, I'm gonna get to that in a little bit here. Okay, so whatever goal you may have, it's not going to be as daunting, and it's literally going to give you a more clear picture on why it's totally possible. So the example that I want to give you right now, because a lot of people have this goal that they want to make $10,000 per month or whatever it might be. So let's just say your monthly goal is to make $10,000 with um, my top tier business, or let's just say your goal is to make $1,000 in just my top tier business sales. Okay, and all the back end stuff is gravy. So all the licensee sales, and I hope you're positioned, so you know all the titanium sales, all the platinum sales, and all that stuff is gravy on top. So you just want to make $1,000 in the next 30 days just by selling the $49 my top tier business thing. Okay, so it pays like 90% commission, so it's like $45 or something. So you need like what, 25, 27 sales or something in the next 30 days to make $1,000 just with my top tier business. And again, you're literally going to put 25 people, let's just say, to keep the numbers simple, people into your my top tier business system. And if you implement the strategies I'm going to be sharing with you, right, trust me, you're going to be making a lot more than just $1,000, okay, because this is just in front end. Okay, so if you want to make it a goal to make $1,000 in just front end sales in the next 30 days, go ahead and do that, because when you implement the strategies I'm going to be sharing with you, believe me, you're going to make a lot more than just $1,000. Okay, so and probably a lot close to $10,000, because it doesn't take many high ticket sales for you to literally boost up this income significantly. Okay, like from 25 people, if you think about it, from the 25 people, if just 20% of the people become licensees, which is 5 people, okay, and from the 5 people, there's, let's just say you make one titanium and one and I mean, let's just say two titaniums and one platinum or something. You can see how this is $5,000, right? This is $6,000, and this is $5,000. Okay, so your income can literally shoot up and go crazy just from these front end sales. So I just want to kind of open up your mind to what's really possible. Okay, so I want you to make it a goal to make a specific amount of sales. Okay, just front end sales for of my top tier business within the next 30 days. So I want you to make a monthly goal of whatever it might be. Okay, so it could be, I want to make 30 sales in the next 30 days of my top tier business. I literally want to put 30 people into my top tier business system in the next 30 days, and I'm going to get resourceful enough. I'm going to stand up. I'm going to make it happen no matter what happens. I'm going to put 30 people into this system, and I'm going to make the 30 front end sales or whatever. Okay, and if you do that, you're going to make a lot more than just 30 times 50, which is $1,500 in revenue, which you get a 90% commission from or whatever, you're gonna make significantly more because we're not even counting the back end and stuff. Okay, so let's just say that your monthly goal is to make 30 sales of My Top Tier Business in the next 30 days. Okay, then what I want you to do is whatever this goal might be, and for you it might be literally, hey, I just want to make 10 My Top Tier Business sales in the next 30 days. No problem. Okay, if you're a heavy hitter, you might be like, okay, I want to make 100 sales, just front end sales. I want to put 100 people, or whatever it might be. Okay, but again, your goal, okay, should be directly in correlation with the actions that you take. Okay, so if you make it a goal to get 100 sales in the next 30 days, and then you just somehow expect magically to stuff happen for you, and you don't get your ass to work like in full gear, uh, I mean, come on, how do you expect to reach this goal? So you have to actually like go after your goal. Okay, I recommend making a big goal. Okay, because even if you like make a big goal and hit halfway through, you know, it's something, it's an achievement, right? But at the same time, you gotta get to work. Okay, you gotta make this possible. Okay, and I'm gonna ask you one question that's going to open up your mind to how to do this. So once you determine how many monthly sales you want to make, you want to determine how many sales you need to make in a week. Okay, so 30 sales in 30 days is basically 7 to 8 sales, or 7 sales in a week. Okay, in a week. So obviously, then you want to drill down to a daily goal. So then it just becomes 1 sale per day of My Top Tier Business. That means you need to sell one $49 application kit per day, okay? And you will have reached your goal, okay? A lot more simpler. If your goal is 10 sales, you just want to put 10 people in the next 30 days into My Top Tier Business system. In a week, it's literally 3 people, let's just say, that you need to put into the system per week. So every 2 days, you need to be resourceful enough to make a sale. Every 2 or 3 days or whatever it might be, right? So that's what you want to determine. And then after you determine this number, how many sales you need to make on the front end, okay, you also want to determine how many sales you need to make on the to reach your big sort of income potential. So you need to have a goal on how many front end sales you want to make. So how many My Top Tier Business sales you want to make, and also a fair idea on some of the back end sales that you can make. Okay, so for instance, you want to be resourceful enough, because here's what I want you to understand. Okay, this is huge, and this is just incredibly powerful right now, what I'm going to be sharing with you. Once you figure out this how many front end sales you need to make, we're going to go deeper and find out exactly how many leads and how much traffic you need to get and all that stuff in a little bit. But here's what I want you to understand. Okay, if you want to make $1,000 as a licensee, okay, let's just say you're at licensee or platinum or titanium or whatever, you want to make $1,000, you can make 25 sales of a $1,000 product, or excuse me, 25 sales of the $49 application fee or whatever, and you're going to be close to $1,000. It's going to be like $900 or whatever, right? However, it just takes 1 sale of the licensee program to earn $1,000. So is it easier to make 25 sales of My Top Tier Business, or is it easier to make 1 sale of $2,000 product? There was a time when I just got started. This is so critical, so please listen up to me. But there was a time when I was promoting My Top Tier Business, and I was literally, I made it a goal to make front end sales like crazy for My Top Tier Business, okay? And I decided that I'm just gonna make sales, and I did it. I actually reached my goals, okay? But here's exactly how it kind of panned out. I would literally get people. I literally would email out my list and get people to contact me, and I would schedule a 20 to 30-minute consult on Skype with people, and me and the prospect would literally drill deep into what their problem is and all this different stuff, and at the end, I would let them know that, you know, I'm promoting My Top Tier Business, and if they want to join, that would be awesome, right? And I was literally closing like crazy. Like I had 7 Skype sessions, and I closed 4 people into the $50 My Top Tier Business deal. Then I actually talked to a marketer, okay, who's kind of on the same level as me, so he's not like some big guru or whatever. He's making good money, but it's not like $100,000 a month or whatever yet, right? So me and him were talking, and here's exactly what he told me, and it really opened up my mind to something massive. He told me, look, you're really good at closing these sales by the looks of it, because you're literally closing like 50% of your prospects and stuff, which is awesome. But as an entrepreneur, how much time are you spending with these 7 people? Like, how much time are you spending with one person to close this $50 deal? And I literally said like 30 to 45 minutes it's taking me right now to close a $50 deal. And he literally said, okay, so these 7 people, let's just say 30 minutes, that's 3.5 hours, let's just say 4 hours because you said 45 minutes or whatever. You spend 4 hours of your time to make 4 sales, which is $200. Okay, now $50 an hour, if you think about it, it's not bad. And again, these people can obviously turn into back-end sales and all this stuff. But here is what really opened up my mind. Here's a sentence that really opened up my mind. Here's what he said. He said, do you realize that if you were actually selling the Mobilize Rights program or something, you'd be making $1,000 per sale, which means it equals making 25 of these sales. Okay, it literally means 25 of these sales, which is a crazy amount of people that you have to talk to, right? So get to that. So here's what happened next. Okay, I decided that I'm gonna do a webinar. Okay, I'm gonna do a webinar, and this was literally, I want you to kind of think about this, guys. This is so powerful, and I'm going somewhere with this. This is huge. Okay, I had this conversation with this guy 9 p.m. my time. All right, and at the end of this call, at the end of this Skype call that me and him had, and we were just literally sharing each other's strategies and what's working for each of us and what's not working and how to move forward and how to scale up and all this different stuff as true entrepreneurs do. And I decided I'm gonna do a webinar and I'm gonna sell Mobilize Rights program. So here's what I did. At that time, my list was like literally 700 people or so, like 600 to 700 people and stuff. And most of these people have been ignored for a very long time, and like it was not a good situation or whatever. But I just decided, you know what, screw it. Okay, so I definitely did not have the biggest list in the whole world. Here's what happened next. I sent out an email to this list and said, I'm doing a webinar tomorrow. I'm going to show you a clear way to make $10,000 per month. I'm going to show you an action plan to make $10,000 per month. At the end of this webinar, 15 minutes after this webinar, you're going to have a clear action plan that you can put into place to make $10,000 per month. Okay? Click here and click here to register or whatever. The email was literally like that. It sucked. I didn't even think about it. Okay? I just sent out the damn email and I just said, tomorrow 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, there's going to be a webinar. Show up to it. It's going to be awesome stuff. Here's the funny thing. The only thing that I knew at this point is that I'm going to be selling Mobilize Rights program. I did not even prepare one thing about, I didn't even have a clue on what I was going to cover on this webinar. I did not even know what this action plan was going to be, how I was going to deliver it, but I just made a promise, okay, and I just said, tomorrow is the time I'm going to do it, okay, because I knew that if I did not do this, okay, I would procrastinate over this, okay. This webinar idea, I would try to make the perfect script for the perfect webinar, and this would take like months and weeks and whatever like that, and I would never get to the freaking money. So I just decided, what's the worst thing that can happen? Okay, nobody shows up on this webinar, or I do a webinar and the whole thing gets messed up or whatever it might be, or I don't sell anything. So what? Okay, so what? There's nothing to lose, literally. So here's what I did. I sent out an email to this list, made this promise. Okay, remember the webinar was going to be at 6 p.m. I started creating the mind map. Okay, I delivered the entire webinar through a mind map. I started creating the content, which was the mind map, at 4:20 p.m. Okay, so between 4:20 p.m. and 6 p.m. okay, which is 1 hour, which is like 1 hour and 40 minutes, and between this time, I also had to send out 2 emails to my list. There were reminders to join the webinar. So 1 hour before the webinar, I had to send out an email that said, hey, we're going live in 1 hour, so make sure you show up and stuff like that. And then at 5:55, I had to send out an email that said, we're going to be live in like 5 minutes, so click here to attend the webinar live or whatever. So it was literally like in 90 minutes, I created the entire content. I created the entire pitch on what my offer was going to be. I put together an irresistible offer. I put together some bonuses that I would offer when people signed up for the Mobile License Rights program through me. And I just created the whole thing. I did not have any of the bonuses prepared. Okay? All my bonuses were literally a coaching deal. Okay? It was literally like a 4-week coaching program where I'm going to help you put this into place, put this into place, put this into place, and you and I are going to get together and we're going to do this, blah, blah, blah. I just literally created stuff. So these bonuses were not even created. Okay? And I just put the thing out there, and I just tried to make the offer that I was giving as irresistible as humanly possible. One more thing I did, I put a scarcity on it. Okay? I told myself, okay, there's 600 to 700 people on this, so there's not going to be many people that show up on this webinar. So you know what? I'm just going to put a cap of 5 people on this offer. Okay? 5 people on this offer. It's going to be $2,000. Right? The Mobile License Rights program is $2,000. And that's that. Okay? So it's only going to be for the first 5 people or till Friday. So that's I added some legitimate scarcity, and I added some bonuses, and I made the offer. And here's exactly what happened at the webinar. Okay? Again, the whole webinar content and everything was totally unplanned. Okay, it wasn't like I had rehearsed it. It wasn't like I had prepared it. It wasn't even that I was thinking about it. It was pure speed of implementation. It was literally, let me just send this thing out and see what happens. Okay, that's exactly how it was. It was totally half-assed. All right, the webinar was when I went through the content, it was literally all over the place. Like it was I would talk about this and I would talk about this. It was kind of going off on tangents and stuff like that. It was not the most perfect or best webinar that I did, but here's what's the weird thing. There were a grand total of, okay, this number is going to surprise you, 4 people on the webinar. Okay, 4 people. Out of these 4 people, one of them was my mom. She wanted to watch the webinar and stuff like that. Okay, so I guess that doesn't count, right? So 3 people basically, and the 4th and this is me. Okay, so there were a grand total of 5 people on the webinar: my mom, me, and 3 other attendees. Okay, 3 attendees. How many attendees? Like 3 attendees. There was also one guy who came on the webinar and then he left after a bit or something. So I guess there were like 3 to 4 attendees or something along those lines. Okay, so it wasn't a lot. But you want to know what's funny? I didn't give a crap. I went to most people would get discouraged because they would be like, crap, there's only 3 people on this webinar. Crap, there's only 4 people on the webinar. And the way that I had set this thing up, I didn't even know how to hide the like who can see who's attending the webinar. So all these people knew that there were only 3 people on the webinar. Okay, because I didn't know how to hide this thing or whatever. Okay, it was the first time I was doing the webinar. Okay, through this GoToWebinar thing or whatever. This was my 3rd webinar ever, my first ever webinar that I did. First, one person showed up. They left after 30 minutes. The whole thing sucked. Obviously, I didn't make any sales. Second webinar sucked. I didn't make any sales. This was literally my 3rd webinar ever. Okay? In the first 10 minutes of the webinar, I kept talking and I forgot to show my screen. Okay? How professional is that? People could see that there's only 3 people on this thing, but here's exactly what I did. I poured my heart, soul, and energy onto this webinar. I literally gave all I had about the content that I was going to be delivering, and I made the offer. I made the irresistible offer. And you want to know what happened? 3 of these people, okay, literally, I'm not kidding you, okay, like honestly, 3 people turned into licensees. So like I said, there were 3 to 4 people on the webinar. There was one person who kind of came on the webinar, then left or whatever. It was literally like that. Okay? There was me and there was my mom. So that doesn't count, right? So there were a grand total of like 4 people on the webinar, 3, and once there were like 4 people on the webinar or whatever like that. And I literally closed 3 people into a $2,000 deal. Okay? Now, granted, one of these attendees was already in my top tier business. Okay? But the other 2 did not even know my top tier business. They had not even seen my video, like the pre-sale video and stuff like that. So 2 people were completely new, okay? And I sold this thing and I made 3 sales like this. So it was literally $3,000, and this webinar literally went on for 2.5 hours, okay? 2.5 hours, which is pretty long. I planned the webinar to be 90 minutes long, but I just kept going because I just kept pouring on the value. I kept answering questions that people had, and I just poured on everything. Okay? So here's the big lesson that I want you to get out of it. It's not about doing it perfectly. It's not about anything, okay? Because good enough is good enough, and perfectionism leads to poverty. So just get the thing done. It's about getting stuff done. It's not about getting stuff perfectly done. Okay? You can do that stuff later. The 64-minute pre-sale video I created, the story behind that is very, very similar. It was literally okay, I'm gonna make this video. I'm gonna explain a bunch of stuff, and at the end, I'm gonna sell my top tier business, and that's what I did. And the thing converts like crazy. And there's so many mistakes that I make in the video, but I'm so resistant to change it because it's working so well. So you don't know what's perfect until the market responds to it. This webinar was literally, in my opinion, still all over the place. I could have structured it a lot better. I could have done a lot better job at selling and all these different things. But it converted like almost everybody that was on the webinar into sales, into a $2,000 ticket. I literally sent a message to one of my mentors on Facebook, and he was literally like, wow, you are like a god or something. I've never seen conversion rates like that. Like, you literally close like, what, 75% of the people that were on your webinar. That's into a $2,000 ticket. It wasn't like I was selling a $10 product or whatever. It was a $2,000 ticket. So I made $3,000 in 2.5 hours. Now remember when I was talking to you about I was spending 30 minutes to 45 minutes on Skype closing $50 my top tier business sales or whatever? Do you see what that means? Okay. How many sales would I need to make $3,000 using a model like this? This is where high ticket comes in, my friends. The point that I'm trying to make here, and the way that this relates, by the way, to what I'm sharing with you here, okay, is it's just about getting the thing done. Okay. So number one, you want to have a monthly goal, weekly, and actually what happened before this webinar, this is also very, very critical. But just before I did this webinar, just before I decided and had the idea to do this webinar and sell license rights program and stuff, I was going through a Tony Robbins course, okay, and he was talking about you want to ask yourself the right questions and every single time, because that's what's going to motivate you towards your goals and stuff like that. So I literally asked myself this question. That day at night, I literally wrote down on a paper, and I was going through, I wrote down a monthly goal. And the monthly goal that I wrote was literally $10,000 in the next 30 days. So weekly goal was $2,500, and daily goal was like $333 or something like that. Okay, and remember, it wasn't like I was some big shot. I had a list of 20,000 people to leverage to make this type of money. Okay, no, my list was literally tiny, and there were like grand total of like 4 people that showed up on the webinar. So, where was I? Okay, yeah. So here's the question that I asked myself: what would make it inevitable for me to reach this monthly goal, to reach this weekly goal, to reach this daily goal? What would make it inevitable for me? And here's what the answer that my mind came up with: sell really irresistible, really premium price products on webinars, and keep doing it, and keep doing it, and keep doing it more. So I literally wrote down that day that I'm going to do 10 webinars this month. I'm going to do like 2 to 3 webinars, and I'm going to sell like license rights program or some high ticket thing from each of these webinars. I'm going to give away really, really good content at the same time, and I'm going to blow my subscribers away, and I'm just going to go on like a webinar marathon, and I'm just going to go crazy. Okay? So that's what I decided. So you want to ask yourself the same question: what would make it inevitable for you to reach this goal? Now let's break this goal down further. So let's just say your monthly goal is to make 30 MTTV sales in the next 30 days. Now your actions that you take have to be in congruence with your goals. Okay, if you're just sitting there and if you're not really working on, and I'm going to be getting into this, okay? So weekly goal would be 7 sales per week. Daily goal would be 1 sale per day, right? Literally. So here's the question that I asked myself. I told myself, okay, so if I make 1 sale per day for the next 30 days, I'm going to reach my goal. Okay, so that's monthly goal, that's weekly goal, right? So what do I need to do on a daily basis to make one sale per day? That was the question. What do I need to do on a daily basis to make sure that before I put my head on the pillow and before I go to sleep, I have made at least one sale of my top tier business that particular day? And I made a commitment to myself to actually get this done. So I thought to myself, okay, if I wanted to make it inevitable for me to reach this goal, okay, one sale, I would have to probably talk to 2 to 4 people on Facebook or something about my top tier business, and these and like really qualified people, and this is like overboard because I want to make a minimum of one sale, okay, and I would have to get 30 to 40 leads on a daily basis for the next 30 days. Okay, so then it became, okay, I need to get, let's just say, 30 leads per day on a daily basis. I need to get then it literally becomes, how can I get 30 leads tomorrow? How can I get 30 leads the day after? How can I get 30 leads the day after? How can I get 30 leads the day after? And you just keep rinsing and repeating and stuff. Okay, once you start getting more than 20 leads per day, that's when the sales start to come in on a consistent basis. That's when the magic starts to happen. So I know that, but I made it a goal to get 30 leads per day. So I thought to myself, okay, 30 leads per day. How much traffic do I need to get to my website, to my capture page, to get 30 leads per day? So I thought to myself, okay, at that time my capture page was converting at 35%. So I said to myself, okay, to make the numbers simple and to go over, I need to get 100 people to my website on a daily basis. Okay, and again, I'm trying to make a conservative one sale per day. If you do this right, and if your conversions are higher and stuff, and if you're using the strategies that I'm going to be sharing with you, you're going to make more sales. But you just want to make sure that you make it inevitable. Okay, so that every single day you're putting yourself in a position where you are making one sale. Period. Okay, you're making it inevitable. You're going to make it happen. So then I literally went, okay, I need to get 100 people to my website on a daily basis. Then I just went crazy on Facebook pay-per-click. I started spending literally $50 a day to $100 a day and stuff like that. And it was not from day one or whatever. I spent I created like 10 different campaigns and spent $5 each on each campaign, and I tested, and I knew that it's not gonna happen straight away. Like, I need to create some momentum. Okay, so it's not gonna be like literally I get 100 visitors tomorrow and I make like 5 sales or something like that. It's not just magically gonna happen like that. There needs to be some momentum created, and I knew that when it comes to traffic, it's a momentum game. Okay, so the first time you try a traffic source or whatever, it takes a little bit for you to test the waters and test and optimize the campaigns and see what's working and see what's not working. Then you throw out what's not working, then you keep doing what's working and stuff like that. So I knew that. But I literally set up 10 different campaigns targeting 10 different audiences on Facebook, okay, and set up a budget of $5 per campaign per day. Okay, next day, I got 26 leads. Okay, and I spent I think it was excuse me, like $46 or something to get these leads. Okay, and then I asked one of my buddies who's really good at Facebook, and I told him, okay, what mistakes am I making? How can we optimize this campaign to make it better? To to get more, like, how can I weed out the campaigns that are not working? How do I determine what's not working? What are the loser campaigns? And all these different things. And I basically optimized the process, and I made it a consistent thing. Okay, but the main point that I'm trying to make here is, the key is, you want to have a monthly goal in mind, you want to have a weekly goal in mind, you want to have a daily goal in mind, and then you want to go 2 levels deeper. Okay, to make one sale per day, how many leads do you need? How much traffic do you need? And then you just go ahead and go crazy on that. You want to ask yourself, how can I get 100 people to my website today then? Okay, and then how can I talk to like 3 people per day about this sort of a business? So maybe for you that might be, if you have a list of 200 people, just send out an email to your list right now. Okay, right now, just do it and ask them, hey, if you I'm giving away a consultation on how to, whatever it might be, right? How to make high ticket sales, or whatever it might be, right? Anything it could be. Or I'm going to help you create an action plan like this or something like that, right? Whatever value that you bring to the table, let's get on Skype or something, and you want to have a conversation with this person, provide them a bunch of value, and then soft sell or sell whatever you might have or something like that. Okay, if you have a list of like 400, 500 people or something, make a commitment to yourself to do a webinar. Okay, do one tomorrow. Okay, do one literally tomorrow. Who cares? What's the worst thing that's gonna happen? Okay, nobody's gonna show up. So what? Okay, what if somebody actually does show up, and what if that person happens to be the client that literally spends $1,000, $10,000 with you over the next 6 months? What if that's the client? You need to start serving people right now, my friends. Enough waiting along. Okay, then you need to determine how much is your time worth. Okay, like I decided, like when I was having 30-minute, 45-minute conversations and selling $50 products, right? This webinar thing, right, which I was not really comfortable with. It was like my third webinar ever. I was not comfortable with it, but I spent 2.5 hours and I made $3,000. Okay, so how much is your time worth as an entrepreneur? You need to determine that. So then there's the money making. See, there's two things you can focus on. There's the money making tasks, and there are the time wasting tasks. So then what you want to do is, once you come up with a daily plan, so let's just say when we drill this action plan down, it literally came down to 100 people to your website per day, right? To get 30 leads, and then you're gonna make more. Definitely, if you get 30 leads a day, you're gonna make more than one sale if you have a good conversion process in place and blah blah blah. And we're not even counting about the back end sales and all that stuff. So that's where the ripple effect comes in and all that cool stuff. So then you want to ask yourself, how can I get 100 people to my website on a daily basis? And then you want to create an action plan. So you want to figure out the one traffic strategy or whatever it might be, and you want to go out there and make a commitment to yourself to stop focusing on everything else, all the other traffic strategies, all the other crap. Stop opening up your email and going through a course on how to sell products on Amazon when that's not really what you're trying to do. Okay, forget about all that stuff. Just leave everything aside and stay focused on what this action plan is. Remember, you need to, now that you have a sales funnel in place, and here's the other thing, right? Over the next 30 days, your action plan could literally be, okay, I'm going to, over the next 7 days, or over the next 3 days, I'm going to make a commitment to myself to set up my sales funnel. Okay, so I'm going to make my content video that pre-sells my top tier business. Then one of the things that I'm going to do daily is I'm going to make a 3 to 5 minute video, and again I'm going to be going deeper into the sales multiplier formula video that shows you how to create killer pieces of content that sell your stuff like crazy, sell your stuff like hotcakes. It's going to be really cool. Then you have a daily commitment to yourself that you're going to be making a 5-minute video on a daily basis for the next 30 days on a piece of content using the strategies that I talk about or whatever it might be. And you just make a commitment and you stick to that commitment. So now you make a daily ritual. Okay, and the ritual, it is full of money-making tasks. So it's what are you doing to move forward from where you are right now to get these 100 people to your website? What are you doing to create those pieces of content, to make those 3 to 5 minute videos? Okay, and then what you want to do is you want to put a deadline, a hard deadline on each task. So you literally want to give them, you want to make it a goal, and you literally want to give yourself, you want to literally have a stopwatch timer, and you want to give yourself, like, for instance, if you want to make a 5-minute video, what I recommend you do is I want you to start a stopwatch timer and literally go in the next 7 minutes. Okay, you're going to determine exactly what you're going to be talking about in your 5-minute video. Okay, you're going to create your entire 5-minute video in the next 8 minutes. Okay, and so that's the time limit. Okay, and then you just want to get it done before the 8 minutes. That way, right, your productivity is going to be through the roof because you're putting deadline on each task. Okay, so you want to be doing money making tasks. Then you want to determine, like, how am I going to get this traffic? How am I going to build a relationship with my people? What am I going to do to sell these people? All right, and how can I get resourceful enough on days when I'm not making a sale? How can I get resourceful enough to make a sale? How can I get people contacting me on a daily basis asking about my stuff? Okay, so you could, the answer to that could be literally doing webinars or writing emails out to your list and telling them to join your team or whatever it might be. Okay, that's how you're going to get resourceful enough to make a sale. Or it could be making videos or pieces of content, putting them onto your blog or whatever it might be. Okay, so if you don't have a sales funnel and all this stuff and capture page and all this stuff set up, that's completely okay. Even if you don't have a website set up right now, you could literally make a commitment to yourself that, you know what, over the next 7 days, I don't give a crap. I'm going to get resourceful enough. I'm going to have my first website set up. I'm going to have my first capture page set up. I'm going to have my first video setup that takes people to my top tier business or whatever. And you know what? In the first 7 days, my only goal is to get one lead to come through this funnel. That's it. I want to get my first lead online at the end of these 7 days. Put a freaking deadline on that task and just get it done. Get resourceful enough. Okay? Call the hosting company if that's what you have to do. Get in touch with me. Get resourceful enough. Okay? That's what entrepreneurs do. Instead of making excuses like you may have done in the past or whatever, this is different. Okay? You want to make a commitment. If you've never gotten a lead online, that should be your goal. If you've never made a sale online, make it a goal that, you know what, in the next 14 days, no matter what happens, if it doesn't matter what happens in the next 14 days, you wait and watch. I'm going to make my first sale online, period. It's happening, and I make a commitment to myself right now. I don't care who believes in me because I believe in myself enough. Okay, that's a commitment you need to make to yourself, and you need to put a deadline on that thing, and you need to stay committed to that thing, my friend. Okay? And I want you to celebrate your achievements, okay? Because here's the thing. Unless you have all these different things in place, like my action plan was literally how am I going to make $10,000 per month? And then for me, it was simple because it was literally like, okay, I have this entire sales funnel ready and everything is working and stuff. So I just need to pour a bunch of traffic into it. For you, it might not be that case. Okay, you might not have a website set up. You might not have a lead capture page set up. You might not have this thing set up. You might not have this thing set up. You might not have an email follow-up sequence set up or whatever it might be. But slowly but surely, you want to make sure what's critical, what's going to make you money in the best way possible right now in the short term and in the long term. And then you want to kind of take it into your daily ritual and put it somewhere. So it could literally be, if you don't have a follow-up sequence right now, right, do not make it a goal to be like, okay, you know, I'll probably have to do like a 30-day follow-up sequence where one email goes out every single day to my email list or whatever, and I'm just going to do this thing in one day or something like that. Do not do that. Here's the commitment you want to make to yourself. I'm going to write one killer email per day, and I'm going to use storytelling, and I'm going to be sharing with you the strategies. They're super duper simple. It does not matter what your experience is. You're going to be able to write one email per day. Some of you right now might be wondering, what the hell do I write one email per day about? Yeah, it's very, very simple. It's very, very easy. Okay? I'm going to show you how this stuff happens, but basically you want to make a commitment to yourself. I'm going to write one email per day and I'm going to send it out to my list no matter what. Even if I don't make a sale, so what? You're going to get better at email. You're going to get better at copywriting. You're going to habituate yourself to something. This stuff makes money. Okay, these are money-making tasks. You literally want to integrate them into your daily ritual. Then, if you're down for it, right, make a commitment to do 1 to 2 webinars per week and stick to the damn thing, right? Sell something on this webinar. So what? If nobody buys, so what? It's not like anybody's buying anything from you right now anyways, right? That sounds harsh, but I'm just being completely honest, okay? Make one content video per day with a soft sell. So just create a daily action plan full of these money-making tasks. Email your list, talk to people, close sales. Okay, if somebody needs help, if somebody, like literally, there was this guy, right? He literally, me and him got on Skype, and this was when I was selling the $49 thing or whatever. This guy was literally talking to me, and he messaged me on Facebook and said, hey, can you just come on Skype or whatever? And I said, okay. And we literally had a 2-minute chat, and here's how the conversation went. Okay, he was like, hey, I just saw your video. I love what I see. I just wanted to talk to you before I got started with my top tier business. And I said, yeah, sure. Like, is there any questions that you have? And he just had one question. Okay, very, very simple one. Like, you know, very, very simple question, basically. And he said, you know, what sort of, exactly, like, what sort of coaching I'm going to get from you or something like that, some question like that. And he was like, okay, that's cool. Yeah, so that's all really I wanted to talk to you about. So I'm going to be getting started right now. And this is cool. So I said, okay, sure. So the guy signed up on the spot. Okay, I made a sale. And today, this person is a licensee and looking to go higher and higher and higher. Okay, it's a 2-minute conversation I had, right? But that's a money-making activity. It's a money-making activity. So selling stuff, emailing your list, providing value, doing a webinar, these are money-making activities, my friend. getting traffic, getting leads, setting up your Facebook campaign. And again, it's not just about having these things. You literally want to put a deadline on everything. Everything. You want to break these things down. You want to create a daily ritual. Okay? Let's just create a daily ritual. Okay? But actually, before you create a daily ritual, let's also talk about the time wasting tasks. You also want to determine what stuff is eating up the bandwidth of your brain right now. And it could be all the technical crap that you honestly don't need to deal with. Okay, if this stuff you literally find out that you're not good with all the technical stuff, and you have these intentions and you have these action plans and all this stuff, and then all of a sudden you're just stuck with a technical problem or whatever, and before you know it 3 hours go by and you've not gotten anything done because you're like, how the hell do I make this thing make this image move or whatever it might be. All right, you're an entrepreneur. Technical stuff does not make money. Okay, outsource it. Go to fiverr.com and get it done by somebody else. Okay, get a software like one of the best pieces of software that I use in my business is Leadpages. Okay, you're gonna learn more about it. But basically, it handles all the technical crap about building web pages and autoresponders and blah 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 and all this different stuff. I don't have to fiddle around with it because I don't want to. Even if you're good with that stuff, I'm like average with all the technical stuff. I honestly takes too much of my time, and it literally gives me headaches when I do that stuff. So this software literally helps me make web pages in like 30 seconds, 60 seconds, and 2 minutes. Okay, like you don't want to be dealing with that stuff. Wasting time on Facebook and YouTube watching videos and all that crap, right? It's not making you any money. Forums, okay, hanging out on forums like the Warrior Forum and stuff like that, buying different products and stuff like that you don't need right now. Okay, if you want to buy a product that deals right now with one of these money making tasks, or what you have integrated inside your action plan, and something that literally helps you move forward, you want to be able to determine what's moving me forward. Okay, so if your goal is to like, you only want to buy stuff that you need right now. So there's a guy who did a webinar on how he's making $100,000 per month on Amazon, and your action plan is to make 30 sales of My Top Tier Business in the next 30 days. Does this have any correlation at all with each other? No, not at all. Okay, not at all. So forget about that thing. Okay, forget about like any other courses or whatever, and just focus on this thing, because you don't need that stuff right now. Okay, if you do have the money making tasks or whatever, if there's something that's making your life significantly easier and faster, and something that's really going to help you when it comes to the money making tasks, absolutely go ahead. But then you want to stay focused on what it is, and you want to put this stuff into action. Okay, so email. Okay, you want to make it a goal to check your email like 2 times a day, literally. If that thing is sucking up all your energy and your time or whatever it might be, right? These days I've just said the word whatever like a billion times. Anyways, I just keep saying that. But where was that? Okay, so if you're always like checking email, and then you read an email from this guy, and then 2 hours later you end up somewhere else, if you know that happens to be a problem for you, you want to make a timeout for your email on a daily basis. So you're only going to check it in the evening, and you're going to have a half an hour window or something like that, and you're going to have that. Okay, before you go to bed every night, you want to have an action plan ready for tomorrow. Okay, with deadlines. Okay, this is not just the list that I'm telling you to create, not just a to-do list. You literally want to have deadlines on each of these things. Okay, and one of the things that I did, because I really struggle with procrastination, is I would literally reward myself. Okay, and I would hurt myself on purpose. Okay, if I did something or I didn't do something. So if there was a task that I had to do, so for instance, if one of the tasks was make a video about this thing and sell this product at the end, and do the entire thing and complete the video in 50 minutes or something, make a 20-minute video, blah blah blah, and put it to upload on YouTube or something like that, and I give myself 45 minutes to do it. If I actually got it done, I would reward myself with some food that I really like to eat a lot, right? Or if I didn't get it done, I would literally like pinch myself or something, or I would like literally like pull my hair out and hurt myself in some way, so that it feels bad, and I feel hurt, and I feel like a loser, so that I never miss the next task ever again. Okay, so you want to hurt yourself on purpose, and you want to reward yourself. And I'm not telling you to go crazy and cut yourself or something crazy like that. I'm just giving you an example, right? Because you want to have positive reinforcement and negative reinforcement in the stuff that you do. So you want to be creating an action plan. My goodness, is this stuff powerful or what? So again, ask this question: what would make it inevitable for you to reach this goal? So here's what I want you to do right now. Right now, I want you to ask yourself how many sales that you want to make of my top tier business, or whatever offer that you might be promoting, front end sales. How much money do you want to be making from this? Okay. You could also have a daily routine where you connect with these buyers of my top tier business already, and you build a better relationship. And if you do that, these people are going to be more likely to convert into more back end sales or whatever. So you want to be building a relationship with them as well. Okay. So daily routine could look something like this. Okay, when it comes to money making tasks. And again, one other thing is, if you really struggle with procrastination, you don't want to be having like 15 money making tasks to do in a day, because you're going to overwhelm yourself. Okay, so it could be write one email that pre-sells MTTB. Okay, actually it could be, okay, make a short 5-minute video about the XYZ concept, whatever it might be. I'm just giving you an example right now, that pre-sells MTTB. Okay, and I'm just going to remove this. Okay, so it would literally be you want to now, okay, first let's just write the task, and then we're going to break each of these things down. Send out invitation. Okay, send out invitation to webinar I'm doing tomorrow. Syndicate this video I created on my, put it on my blog, email it out to my list, send it, put it on my FB fan page, okay, and whatever other things that you probably do, okay. Send the invitation out to what we're doing right now. Set up 5 new FB campaigns, $5 a day per campaign, okay. Monitor and optimize previous campaign, increase budget, right? What other money making tasks might there be, right? Let's just kind of talk about it. Schedule, or it could be start 3 to 5 conversations with people who are likely to join MTTB or something. Just build a relationship or whatever. Like I just came up with this stuff on the spot, but you just want to have daily routines that help you move forward. Okay, so this could be it. If you're just getting started, I mean, if this could be a little bit more advanced or something for you right now. Here's what another daily routine might be. Okay, let's just say you're completely getting started. In the next 3, if your goal, again, you want to break it down into a daily goal. So if your goal is to set up your website, have a full, high, awesome converting sales funnel, and have all these different things set up or whatever it might be, then you want to have a daily goal. That what are you going to do every single day for the next 7 days to actually reach that goal? So it could be set up my Bluehost and domain name. Okay, then it could be make my 5-minute pre-sale video using Sean's salesman platform, like techniques and stuff like that. Okay, make a web page. Okay, and there's also another task that you want to upload this on YouTube. Then you want to make a web page and have this video on here. Okay, make a web page, put MTTB affiliate link on that page, so that when people watch the video, they can click the link and they can go ahead and buy. And then write the first welcome email for my autoresponder. So when somebody just joins my list, just a welcome email, or you might also want to create a welcome video or something that says, hey, thank you so much for signing up for my email list. I'm going to be sending you really, really cool stuff over the next 30 days or whatever it might be. So make sure you whitelist my email and all that cool stuff. So you could do that too. And then what other tasks might be there? Okay, and set up my first FB campaign and put a limit of $5 per day. Okay, so this could be literally your goal. I'm just making this stuff up. And then what you want to do is, once you have these goals, you want to put a time limit on each of these tasks. So let's just put a time limit on each of these tasks. So you want to drill deeper and go, okay, if I have to make a 5-minute video about XYZ concept, the pre-sales MTTB, okay, it might take me 10 minutes to like strategize on how I'm gonna create the whole thing and how the whole thing's gonna work, or the story that I'm gonna come up with, or whatever. So let's just say you give yourself 7 minutes sharp on the dot to come up with the plan of the video, or whatever it might be. Okay, then start webcam and get recording. So it's a 5-minute video. Let's just say there's 2 takes that you have to do, so give yourself like 8 minutes and you got to get this thing done, or 10 minutes, or whatever you want to do. You want to put like deadlines so that you actually get the thing done. Okay, put it to upload on YouTube 2 minutes. Okay, so while it's uploading, you're gonna be doing task number 2. Okay, so literally 7 minutes to come up with a plan, 7, 8, and 2. So that's literally 17 minutes that it took. Or you might want to put like 4 minutes into this, or like 8 minutes into this, or whatever it might be, but you're literally getting that task done. And as soon as that task's done, I want you to check this thing off your list, and that's that. Syndicate the video that I created on your blog, email it out to your list, and put it on your fan page. So how long would it take you to put the video onto your blog? Let's just say 3 minutes. Okay, email it out to your list, let's just say 7 minutes. Put it on your fan page, like 2 minutes. Okay, fantastic. Task number 2 is done. Send out invitation to a webinar I'm going to be doing tomorrow. Okay, so first thing is you have to create a webinar registration page or something like that. Again, I'm just coming up with breaking each of these tasks down. Webinar, create webinar registration page. 10 minutes. Okay, then it could be what could it be? Okay, and then it's just sending out the invitation to the webinar. Create email and schedule the email. Let's just say schedule the email to go out. Let's just say tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. EST for this webinar, or something like that. And then maybe tomorrow you have a task where you actually come up with the content of this webinar and the pitch for this webinar, or whatever it might be. Set up 5 new campaigns, $5 per campaign. This could be I just say like you give yourself, for each campaign you give yourself 10 minutes or 8 minutes or something like that for each of these things. You guys get the point. Okay, I don't want to drill this too deep, but you guys get the point. That's what you want to do, and then you want to celebrate your achievements. So again, firstly, come up with what achievements you want to have in the next month, in the next week, in the next day, and just literally create plans like this. Alright, my friends, with that being said, that's it for this video. I just literally want you to create a plan of action and go after it. This is your plan of attack. Go after this, and it's going to work for you. If you have any questions, get in touch with me, and let me help you. Alright, with that being said, this is Jean Sony. Thank you for watching. I loved making this video for you, and I will see you in the next video. Take care.